Assalamu alaikum, dear learners. How are you? I am fine also. I am Taslim Afroz, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Anandamohan College. Today, my topic is from your second paper, English second paper, preposition. 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 Before starting this topic, I try to notice you that in the last lecture about adverb. My last lecture was about adverb, and in adverb I have classified adverb into three classes: proper adverb, relative adverb, and the last one is interrogative adverb. And I think I have write down about proper adverb. Actually, there is no proper adverb in English grammar. It will be simple adverb. It was just my slip of tongue as well as pen, so I am very much sorry about for this mistake. Now we can start preposition. Pre means before, position means placed. That means a definite word or a part of speech which placed before a group of words or another part of speech. Now we can see the definition of preposition. At first we see the definition of preposition. Famous grammarian Nesselfield gave the most important definition about preposition. Nesselfield said preposition is the part of speech which placed before a noun, a pronoun or a noun equivalent, and also maintain the relationship with the rest of the sentence. And this noun, pronoun or noun equivalent is called object of the sentence. That means object of the preposition. So now we can classify preposition. If we classify preposition, we find 7 types of preposition. At first, simple preposition. Simple preposition. Simple preposition. We see there are some preposition, single preposition, which we can use in sentence, and this single preposition is called simple preposition. Say for example, I put the book on the table. This is a single preposition and it is the use of simple preposition. Number 2, double preposition. When we use two preposition unitely, or this is called as double preposition. Say for example, he entered into the class, and we see this is the combination of two preposition and the meaning is totally undivided. That means a new meaning is also given by double preposition. Number 3, compound preposition. Compound preposition. When compound preposition, if we see the definition of compound preposition, we see when a preposition is placed before a noun or another adverb or another adjective is known as compound preposition. In this case, a preposition combines with a noun or adverb or another adjective is also given a new meaning. Say for example, if we analyze some compound preposition, we see across, and if we across, along, above, actually if we divide this compound preposition, we see A for on and B for by. That means if we analyze some compound preposition, we see A for on, B or B for by. So we see on plus cross, and we see these prepositions are placed before adverb, adjective or noun. So this is compound preposition. Number 4, phrase preposition. Phrase preposition or prepositional phrase. We know phrase is a group of words without unit verb. So phrase preposition means there are some prepositions which used with a group of words is called phrase preposition. Say for example, by, didn't, of. We see there is a single preposition placed before group of words. This is phrase preposition. Number 5, participle preposition. Participle preposition. In English grammar, you know there are 3 types of participle. One is present participle, the second one is past participle, and the third one is perfect participle. And among them, present participle and past participle are used as preposition. So when present participle or past participle are used as preposition and is called participle preposition. If we analyze the example, we see considering his age, he is pardoned. In this sentence, this considering is the example of participle preposition. If we see another example, the river flows past the village. In this sentence, this past is the example of past participle preposition. Now we see number 6. Disguised preposition. Disguised preposition. You know the meaning of disguised is hidden. That means there is a cover in another thing. So we see, if we analyze disguised preposition, we see A or O. A, this is a single alphabet, this is another single alphabet. These two alphabets is used in change of some preposition, and these preposition are of, par, at, on, and these two single alphabets used in lieu of or instead of these four prepositions of, par, at, on, and these single alphabets are known as disguised preposition. That means behind these two single alphabets there are some prepositions are hidden, or these single alphabets disguise some preposition. So this A or O is called as disguised preposition. Say for example, I went a hunting, and on is hidden in this A. He came here a week. A par is hidden in this A. It is 10 o'clock. And off is hidden in this O. So these are the examples of disguised preposition. Now we see the last one. The last one is known as detached preposition. Detached preposition. When interrogative adverb or relative adverb, interrogative pronoun or relative pronoun used as object of preposition is known as detached preposition. And in these prepositions, or we see in some cases or in some sentences, a preposition is not placed before the sentence. It is placed separately in the last portion of the sentence. That means in the end of the sentence. So in this case, preposition is detachedly used or separately used in the last portion of the sentence. So this is called detached preposition. Now we can see the example. Came from. These two sentences are examples of interrogative adverb or interrogative pronoun. And the last one is in example of relative adverb or relative pronoun. And we see this from, this for, these in. All these three prepositions are used detachedly or in the last portion of the sentence. So this is called detached preposition. Now we see how to far the influence of preposition in a sentence. If we analyze the definition of in preposition, we see a preposition is placed before a noun, a pronoun or noun equivalent. But in some special cases, a preposition governs or controls an infinitive or a phrase, an adverbial phrase or even an adverbial clause. Now we can see the example. He is about to go. This is the example of infinitive. Now we can see the example of adverbial phrase or clause, which is governed by a preposition. another example of phrase and preposition. That means in this sentence, preposition controls phrase. A sound of cry came out from a heart, and this is the example of adverbial clause. That means in this sentence, preposition controls a adverbial clause. It is another example of adverbial clause, and in this sentence this preposition in controls these adverbial clause. So we see a preposition is very much powerful, which controls not only noun, pronoun or noun equivalent. In some cases it also tries to control adverbial phrase, clause and even infinitive. Now we see the position of preposition. Overlook, look over. We see there are two words. In the first word, this preposition over placed before a verb, look, and it is a verb. When a preposition is placed before a verb, it is formed or it is known as verb, and the meaning is to avoid something. And when a preposition placed after verb, it is known as verb as well as a preposition. That means it known as group or verb, and we can also use it as preposition, and the meaning is just to examine something seriously. So the position is very much important for a preposition. That means the position of preposition differs or verifies its meaning. Now we can see how can we detect adverb and preposition. In my lecture of adverb, I think I say that there are some words which may be used as preposition as well as adverb in English language, and we see when we can detect what is preposition, how we can detect what is preposition and what will be the adverb. Say for example, he went up. He went up. Jerry went up the hill. My learners, that attention please. I always try to use examples from your different model question books or different books. Jerry went up the hill, and in these up is adverb and these up is preposition. And how we can be confirmed that this is adverb and this is preposition? The main point is an adverb never takes object, but a preposition always takes an object. So this is the main thing. That means a preposition is placed or prefixed before a object, and an adverb never does it. So this is the main points how we can detect in case of adverb or preposition. Another example, he sat down. This down is adverb. There is no preposition in the behind of this. There is no object behind in the last portion of this sentence. Tears ran down That means a preposition is also prefixed before an object and adverb never does it. So we can easily, by using this rule, we can easily detect which will be preposition or which will be adverb. And there are some words: across, above, along, about, beside, before, behind, in, near, of, over, round, past, since, through, down. These words may be used, is also can be used as preposition as well as adverb in English grammar. Now we can see there are some parts of speech, that means the other parts of speech we can use in special cases as preposition. Say for example, at first noun. Despite his willingness, he could not join the meeting. In this, despite his willingness, this willingness is noun, but in this sentence, this willingness is worked as preposition, because we see this clause is worked as object for this noun, so we can calculate is preposition. Adjective: I live near my college. This near is used as preposition in this sentence. That means there is a general rule: the preposition takes an object, and by according to this rule, these adjective, these noun is also used as or worked as special preposition in these sentences. Verb: all ran away save he. This is also worked as preposition as well as verb. Conjunction: none but he can do it. And in this sentence, you know, this but is preposition. Generally this but is generally known as conjunction, but in this sentence this but is worked as special preposition, because this but takes a clause. So according to this rule, this but is worked as special preposition in this sentence. Participle: participle first me, and this is the example of also present participle, past participle. Infinitive: he tried to go. In this sentence, this is also worked as infinitive as well as preposition. So we see the examples of special preposition in sentences. Then and but. then and but. These are examples of two conjunctions, and these two conjunctions are used as special preposition in some cases. Say for example, I am taller than he, and this he is object to this conjunction, so this is worked as also preposition in this sentence. None but he could do it. In this sentence, this but is also preposition, and it takes an adverbial clause or a clause as object. So this is worked as special preposition in this sentence. So we see these two words are also conjunctions, but in special cases they can be used as preposition. Now we see the objects of preposition. Objects of preposition. Generally, we know we can use a noun, a pronoun, or noun equivalent as a noun, a pronoun, or a noun equivalent as object of preposition. These are the examples of objects of preposition, and we see in these 10 sentences noun or noun equivalent or pronoun are the objects of preposition. But in some special cases there are some other things which can be used as objects of preposition. Say for example, this is the example of adverb of time, and this is the example of adverb of time. So we can see in special cases preposition takes an adverb as object. This is the example of interrogative or adverb. So we see this is the adverb of place, example of adverb of place. Or this is another example of adverb of place, and in these two sentences adverb of place is also used as objects of preposition. Now I can give another example. We see this is the example of relative pronoun. I know the boy who is very happy. And in some cases now we see in these sentences these relative or is not used. That means it is just hidden, and this relative pronoun is just also withdrawn. So this is the example of objects of preposition. That means when preposition is taken, that means relative pronoun is taken as objects of preposition. So dear learners, this is for today. In next class, just I shall try to give you idea about the rules of using prepositions in a sentence. That means how we can use the rules preposition in sentence. So this is for today. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.